Welcome, Collective, to your weekly spirit guide reading. So, for today, I went ahead and pulled all the major arcana 22 out of the deck, shuffled, and I'm going to go ahead and show those to you. Just go with your intuition, what feels right. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just what resonates with you. You can, of course, listen to the messages for each card, but I'm going to go ahead and show them to you guys now. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Tower, and the Strength. So I'm going to give you guys a moment to take a deep breath, exhale, and choose which card resonates with you the most. And then we're going to tap into why you're into, basically my intention was I pulled two cards. The first one is what is your intuition trying to tell you, and the second one is advice. And again, that's the Wheel of Fortune, the Tower, and the Strength. No right or wrong answers here. And we'll start off here with the Seven of Pentacles. It came here, it was at the bottom of the deck, so I'm going to go ahead and just take it as an overall underlying message for the entire collective and for the spirit guide reading. Okay, so Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, indicating that a potential for success, but at this time you don't feel that potential for success. So there's still something here, I think, in terms really of the pentacles. It's like, and if it doesn't have to necessarily do with money, like what seeds are you planting at this time that are going to be fruitful or be something that you can be proud of, right? So whether whatever seeds you're planting is going to in turn make you by default income, there's something here that I don't know if you're doubting yourselves that something that you want to pursue is going to be fruitful. Another big thing I'm picking up on though with this card, and I feel like for a lot of us in the collective, because as we're shifting into the new earth together, because we're in the I want to say we're in the thrusts of it, if that makes sense. But we're like at the forefront. Okay, we're there. We're doing it, and I feel though that there is procrastination occurring. And that could a lot of it could have to do with like really taking, I was gonna say aligned action, but just taking any kind of action toward the thing it is. Like there's a seed you want to plant, but it's like you have to go buy the seed. No, excuse me. So it's something to that effect where it's like you have an idea, but it's tiny. It's like, it's a seed. It's tiny, but it's just something so small that even if you just do that small thing, it can get the ball rolling, right? AKA can get the momentum rolling. And I've read somewhere or heard somewhere before that when you think about a thought for 17 seconds, another similar thought will follow, and so on and so forth. I think it was Abraham. Until that moment, until then, just you're on a train of thought. Okay, that's actually building momentum and not kind of stalling out here. You could have also experienced some setbacks, or you just feel like there's some impatience, obviously, in terms of the like when. when am I going to get the money? When am I going to see the pentacles? When am I going to see my efforts, proving fruitful? Is it, you may have put in a sense, like energy in some investments, whether it be into a project, a job, a relationship, and you've put your energy in it, your resources, and it's like you've not yet reaped the harvest that you envision you'd have by now. But we have to understand overall messages. If this is a love situation, right? You can't force love, guys. If this is indicating that you put all your time and effort into a relationship and there's no results from it, just understand that you can't force it. This could speak to a stagnant career, of course. Then you're starting to get the thoughts rolling in your head in terms of what seeds you want to plant. But and at this time, I just feel like you feel like you're in a period of little financial compensation, right? So there's no doubt that you're worried about money right now. It's possible you may have to abandon a project due to financial problems. This could indicate that you perhaps have also maybe borrowed a very large loan or taken out a very large loan. But there's, that's, again, just very overall collective messages, okay? But that, there's pentacles on the mind, right? All right, guys, so again, the Wheel of Fortune, the Tower, and the Strength, okay? So whichever one you resonated with, timestamps are below, but if you, of course, feel free to sit throughout the video. So we're going to start with the Wheel of Fortune. This could certainly stem off of the Seven of Pentacles, okay, Major Arcana number 10. The Wheel of Pentacles to me really speaks of basically like cycles. You could even take it as fate. But right now, with it in the reverse, it's like you're just in a period where you feel like you're more on a downslope than an upslope. You feel like perhaps you have a lack of control, or there's like unwelcome changes occurring, that are causing delays and, just that type of stuff. And it's just kind of like, I'm getting the energy of like you're just kind of over it, which you can see here in the Seven of Pentacles, like the character's expression. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just that when the wheel is reversed, it means that luck has not been on your side, or you feel like misfortunes have been following you. But most, of course, very importantly to understand it that, these, misfortunes, are due to external influences that are not, within your control. Okay, so if that somehow brings any sense of calm, it's like, you can't feel like the weight of the world's on your shoulders when, you can't control how the world is ticking, if you will. So, this could speak to feeling like, if this card resonated with you, that your love life is out of control. Something about forcing past solutions, perhaps in your career, forcing something to fit that is not fitting. Unexpected financial changes. But as we were just saying, what you shouldn't do, very importantly here, very important message, is cling to the illusion of control. And perhaps in the turn of the wheel, right, into a period of better times, if you will, the lesson is to let go and release and wait for the wheel to turn in your direction, right? So again, patience, All right, so let's take a look then. Why does your essentially I was pulling for why does your, what does your intuition want you to know about this, or why? So we have the Nine of Swords in the reverse, which makes sense, as I was just saying, like if these external influences are out of your control, then there's no reason to beat yourself up or carry around a heavy amount of anxiety, and just putting yourself in, sorry, I'm like, where was I going with that? Yeah, like just don't, don't get up in your head, it's like life is made up, I like to say life really is all about the experiences, right? And that means all of the experiences, both, I like to say experiences are good and bad, but, for the sake of clarity, or of ease, there's good and bad cycles, and we have the Wheel of Fortune here, which speaks to cycles. So don't fret, that's really, it's like your intuition, you're tapping into your own vortex, okay, and I'm just along the ride with you. But you're learning, excuse me, you're learning to cope. I do feel like you're on the road to recovery. You really aren't letting the situation get to you. Because if so, the Nine of Swords really would have come up more so in the upright. So nonetheless, you may still, this is indicating that you may, of course, still be experiencing the consequences of a difficult situation. However, the pain is already subsiding. So it's very, very good to see here. Your imagination, however, like this is literally you talking to yourself. Your imagination, though, is still painting the picture as like much more worse than it actually is, in a sense. Although you're still not really letting it get to you, so that's the most important thing. But it's just a reminder, and just not to get upset and worried for no reason, for no valid reason. But the Nine of Swords does bring a message of hope, offering faith in a brighter future and promising better days ahead. So the Nine of Swords, the positioning of it is that things definitely will soon get better, and you're going to soon find relief from, any pain, suffering that you've been facing thus far. And you're, excuse me guys, let me just get some water here. Alright, so your advice, yeah, that's what I thought. So, two major arcana, Wheel of Fortune, the Empress. But your advice here with the Empress, I feel like very simply, is to start tapping into your creativity and your resources. Like, really start tapping into yourself. And once you start reeling your energy back into yourself and doing things that make you feel good, leveling yourself up, taking care of yourself, being kind to yourself, the whole 9 yards type of thing. And you're really completely in your energy and just feeling just really feeling the abundance. That's what it is. It's like, because right now it's like you don't necessarily, you're not feeling the abundance, although I'm so happy to see that you're not letting, anxieties get the better of you. Like you have a pretty good control, I think, of understanding that things are out of your control. But it's just a reminder to just, it's like, it's okay. Like, focus on yourself, really put yourself first at this time, and treat yourself like the Empress or Emperor that you are, okay? So sorry, everyone. But yeah, but very importantly, there's something here in terms of, you know, bringing something new to life, okay? So whether that's, you know, a human being, or for the majority of you, you know, really like just a new, bringing something like a new idea, a new business, a new project to life, okay? And understanding that, you know, just once you start, it's like once you start drawing in energy and just alchemizing and cleansing yourself and starting, and then you start to experience, you know what I mean? It's much like once you start building confidence in your own actions, you know, and where you're like really just trusting yourself in the decisions that you're making, you're going to start rebuilding that, you know, your inner willpower and strength, okay? And I was just sitting with the Empress for a bit, guys, seeing if anything else popped up. But very cool too, because yesterday's reading, or excuse me, Friday's reading, which happened to be Friday the 13th, I had gotten Major Arcana number... Anyway, just make it easy. I also got 13. So anyway, you know, so I'm getting 10 and 3. So 13 may be significant to you. Possibly even number 9. All right, so we're going to move on then. So for those of you who resonated with the Tower, the Tower is coming in as Major Arcana number 16. And the Tower is very, I mean, it's like two things. It's like speaking to both a breakdown, but in this breakdown and simultaneously an illumination is occurring. So, you know, that's why typically when a Tower moment happens, you know, no one is expecting a Tower moment to happen. A Tower moment just happens suddenly and just freaking shakes the core of like your life or of like your relationship, you know, whatever the case is. Like it just, you know, again, it's like you just get struck down by lightning and like completely don't see it coming. You know, you know what I mean? It's like you cannot predict that or you know what I mean? Like you don't know when you're gonna get hit by lightning. Like it's not like you have, you know what I mean? It's so instant. So, so I feel like very importantly, there's something about, you know, illumination here. You know, understanding essentially that the old ways are no longer useful. And you must, at this time, find either another set of beliefs, values, or processes to take their place. You know, some of you could, of course, this could speak to a breakup or weak relationships ending, or very profoundly, and as I might have been speaking to it in the beginning of this video, I can't recall, but that there's been just an insane shift in the collective in terms of just foundational, like a foundational collective shift in view of love, like how the collective views love now, how the collective will conduct themselves in any connection moving forward, whether romantic or not. So This could also indicate possibly sudden job losses, workplace disruptions, even workplace chaos, financial loss, or just like you finally, like, it's like a wake up call regarding your finances. Like some of you might have had a, massive wake up call in terms of your finances. So, the meaning of all these changes will, it's foreshadowed by this card, which will enable you to free yourself from false constructions in your life and determine your true value. All right. So just remember, very important, it's like the old ways are no longer useful. Obviously, that's why you're looking to plant new seeds. But there's something here about, like, again, freeing yourself from false constructions in your life that are determining your true value. So are you following the dream of the planet? Are you doing things that are acceptable by others but are not truly making you happy? So let's take a look. What is your intuition want you to know about this card? So, right off the bat, another major arcana, Justice number 11. Okay. Let me see here. There could be an there's an imbalance that I'm getting, and it may or may not, it may have to do with a decision that you need to make. Or you yourself, it's like, yeah, like you're living in denial, right? We were talking about freeing yourself from those false constructions. What are these constructions? Like, who are these you know what I mean? Like, are you living authentically to how you believe your life should be being led or lived? And it's almost like you're avoiding accountability in some way. You're living in denial by avoiding taking accountability. So take that if it resonates, but perhaps some of you are not willing to accept the consequences of your actions, but if not your actions, then those of another, right? So either in a relationship or the workplace, you may be being treated unjustly, and yet perhaps you're coming up with ways or excuses or something to kind of let these, unfair expectations continue. But taking action, like, you're being called to take action here. Because it's like, if you don't take action, then Source is going to have to step in. And it's almost being like, look, it may be easier for you to just, of course, if it resonates, I'm not telling you to go do something crazy, but I'm just telling you the energy that's here. You're being called to take action. This is from your intuition. Taking action gives you a chance to change or just change, alchemize, and stop judging yourself. Because I think I said you may be judging yourself too harshly at this time. And if for whatever reason this has something to do with legal matters and you were met with an unjust outcome in a case, while it may obviously seem unfair or corrupt and dishonest and all this stuff, you know what I mean? Like, understand that Source truly does have our backs, and retribution, this card speaks to retribution, aka karma, so take that as you will. Your advice is coming in. Wow, third major arcana, the Hermit, major arcana number 9. So major arcana number 9, really speaking to, it's like, feel like you really need to analyze something here, guys. I was like, what was I just saying? I think it's analysis. Okay, yeah, so again, I'm telling you guys, living in denial, resistant to seeing the truth. That's I had to kind of gather my thoughts here and flatten out the energies. But the Hermit suggests that you may be resistant to seeing the truth, which can lead to strained relationships or even breakups. And it's possible that you've ignored advice that perhaps you should not have. So take it as it resonates, but for those of you who are known to be stubborn, or you know you're stubborn, that stubbornness could be causing you to miss out on opportunities, or maybe causing you to miss out on valuable insights in some way. Okay. So, resistant to seeing the truth, guys. So sit with that and really see how that resonates to you, And I wish you guys well. All right, so we're going to move on then. For those of you that resonated with the Strength card, Major Arcana number 8. Very beautiful card. Really speaking to management, also endurance, and that's exactly the kind of energy here that's going to be needed as you start planting your seeds. Okay. All right, Butterfingers here. So for those of you that resonated with this card, right now you're experiencing extreme confidence, extreme compassion, and inner power. It shows that you have the fortitude, to face any moments of distress, or any moments of resistance with resilience. You're very confident in drawing lovers, and you pride yourself on creating a strong and caring environment within a relationship, love connections. You may be becoming a self-mastered at work, or immersing yourself in your craft at this time. Or you're making bold career moves. But either way, you could be taking big steps in terms of doing something, But you're a very patient individual, and you're likely to accomplish anything you put your mind to. Your resilience will greatly aid you, and your fearlessness means that you should have no issue speaking your mind. Again, very complementary energy to this mindset that you have, which, I'm just kind of picking up, it's like, you got to view your relationship to not just money, but to abundance, you know what I mean? Because all of, the collective is getting crazy cards, the Strength, sorry, my train of thought there went off the rails. So, all right. So why did you intuitively choose the Strength card? You have the 3 of Wands. So At this time, it's like you're being asked then, with the Three of Wands here, to to start, essentially to start, I would say really it's like to start almost like envisioning almost like to start envisioning the kind of life that it is that you want for yourself at this time. Because right now it's like you're experiencing, and I think you feel it, you guys in the collective feel it, you're experiencing a massive amount of momentum. Again, Three of Wands, in addition to the strength, these both speak of confidence. So it's like you guys are literally just exuding such positivity. Like you're on such a high right now for putting yourself first, for choosing you, for, you know what I mean, for moving into the new earth, like welcome. And I feel that, I feel that right back, with you guys. So the meaning of the Three of Wands suggests that right now everything around your plans is going smoothly because you have taken the time to plan your future and are taking steps to turn your plans into actions. But again, this does speak to, expansion, growth, and foresight. So just continue, I was going to say, like, continue looking off into the distance and man, it's like almost like you're manifesting, daydreaming, creating. I feel like this person's just looking off to the distance and like daydreaming about what it is that they can create, what it is that they can have, what it is that they could, really make of themselves, or just really overall create here. This also indicates, guys, along with this, it's just literally, the Three of Wands indicates that you're in control and have a strong position. Okay, so I'm telling you, it's just these cards speak to not only confidence, but foresight. You know what I mean? So continue on your paths and continue to remain strong, guys. Because I feel like even though this there's so much strength here, of course we're all human. There could be moments of doubt or whatever the case. But it's like here, it's like I definitely see that you guys are going on the right path, okay? Now, your advice card is the Judgment. So 2 major arcana for this little spread here. Major arcana number 20. These plans that you're envisioning, okay, could be met perhaps with judgment, or perhaps you yourself may think that you will be judged for your way of being, or for the path that you want to take, or for whatever it is that you want, the legacy that you want to create here. But either way, it's like right now you're going through a huge awakening, and you're feeling energy of renewal, of purpose, of reflection, and of reckoning. Like, I feel like your time has come and you know it. Like, literally, it's like you're standing strong, like the character in the Three of Wands. And so I feel like just nothing on your path or ahead of you is going to deter you, because now you have the clearer idea of what needs to change and how, to be true to yourself as you move forward. So this is really about finding purpose and reflecting on your values. Because the choices that you make, that's why it's so, the Three of Wands is here. It's so important, because what you reflect on or the choice, what was I going to say? as you reflect and on the choices that you make, you know, these choices will have an astounding effect on your future and on your life as a whole. So, you know, if you ever come to like a fork in the road, the Judgment card, you know, it just brings to mind moments. It's like reminding you of actions that you've taken in the past that have, you know, that have been basically like good calls. Like you look back on it and you're like, thank God I did that, or you know what I mean? Like, thank God I got out of that, like that type of thing. So, so again, I would just say, just remain, you know, strong, remain patient. You guys have a lot of confidence, a lot of, you know, a lot of strength and energy. And, I am also getting 1111 energy here. Yeah. So 1111 may be significant to you. As well as number 8, or just, you know, the infinity symbol as well, may really resonate with you. All right, everyone, that was my pleasure, and I'll see you in the next reading.